Hi guys, my name is Catherine. If you are new to my channel, I post videos every Friday or almost every Friday when I can, and I talk about living a more intentional and frugal life where you can be debt-free and to just be more in charge of the choices that you make. So today's video is going to be talking about ways you can save money in college. So if you guys are a college student, totally check this video out. I'm currently a senior working on my marine biology degree at Florida Tech, and these are just some tips that I'm really putting into use right now in my junior year, last year as well, that I really thought saved me a lot of money. So I hope that you guys can learn from it and maybe take on these ideas for yourself in order to make sure you can save the most money to plan ahead for your future, to save up for your emergency fund or whatever upcoming expenses you may have. So I have my list here, so if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at that. Okay, so the first step or way to save money that I want to talk to you guys about is meal planning and cooking in bulk. And I know almost every YouTube video that talks about frugality says this, and it's so annoying. Every time I hear it, I get so annoyed. But it's also really true, because we need to be able to make use of the food that we have. And if we're always going out and buying food, whether it's fast food, going to restaurants with friends, we are wasting the opportunity that we have at home. So if you're like me, I really don't like cooking at all. I actually hate it, but it's a necessary evil. I gotta eat, I need to make food, I don't want to starve, so I only cook about 3 to 4 times a week. But what you can do is, if you really don't like cooking, meal plan out your meals and say, okay, for this week, so like I said, for example, I only cook 3 to 4 times a week. I cook ritually, I cook empanadas, I cook spaghetti, Italian breaded chicken, and then maybe some tacos. And I buy them all in bulk. So I get a pound of ground beef just for spaghetti. That lasts me 4 meals. So I got 2 meals for lunch, 2 meals for dinner. The Italian breaded chicken, I use a whole packet of those chicken breasts that you can get at the grocery store. I cut them up into thin slices, and then I bag them all up, put them in the fridge. So then anytime that I need to go and eat something, I just go right back to my house and I have food there. So I have no excuse to go and buy some takeout, some pizza, which I love, but I have no excuse, because I am taking the food that I made because I have it right there and I can eat it. And being able to cook in bulk means that you don't have to cook as often, especially with our schedules, because it's really tough. There's some days where you're up at 6 a.m., going on your run, exercising, going straight to your 8 a.m. class, and sometimes, depending on how long your labs are or your classes, you don't get back till 7 o'clock at night, and then you don't want to cook. So you really need to focus on being able to meal plan and cook in bulk in order to save yourself some time for those days that you know you're not going to cook, and just to think ahead, because you have no excuse. So the second step is to always keep snacks on you. And by this, I mean healthy snacks, because I know as a college student, we have tendencies, we have our cards on our, in our wallets. We also have our school ID cards that can also act as flex or extra money. There's vending machines everywhere. And you just swipe whenever you're hungry to take any of those chips or candy bars out to eat because you're just starving. But you could be using that money that you have to actually buy other groceries or bills that you need to cover. So instead, always have snacks on you. Like I said, healthy ones. I usually keep a bag of carrots. Ask my friends, I will always keep a banana on me. And then I always keep a protein bar in case I don't have enough time to run home from class, and I have a protein bar that can just substitute as a meal. So always try to do that, so that way you can reduce your impulse purchases. The third step, and I know this might be a little controversial for some people and they might think it's stupid, is to skip the alcohol, because alcohol really does not do anything good for your body. I've drank before. I'm not really into it. I've really tried. Everyone's like, oh, you just need to drink a little bit more, or oh, the headache that you get when you drink, you just got to keep drinking to get past it. And no, I don't like the way it makes my body feel. And maybe you guys like drinking. Drinking isn't necessarily bad, but it is a money waster. And if you're in college and you're helping pay for college out of your pocket like I am doing myself, that is something in your budget that you cannot afford. If money is really tight, you really need to make those drastic changes in order to retain the most amount of income that you can. When you go, I remember for my boyfriend's 22nd birthday, I got him alcohol because that's what he wanted. among other stuff. But we were planning a party, and I go to buy the alcohol, and like, it's been so long since I've drank. I like looked at the price and I was like, whoa, that's like $13. That's like half a week's worth of food at the grocery store that I can buy for, which is literally just like liquid toxins you're putting in your body. And he was like, yeah, well, that's like how it mostly costs. And I was really surprised. But like $13-14, bottle of wines, just alcohol, beer, all of that stuff, it really does add up. So if you are really looking to save money for future purchases, to build up your emergency fund, you have to be strict with your budget. And if you can't afford alcohol, if you are unable to even make any of maybe your credit card payments, your bill payments, then why the heck are you buying alcohol? If you can't afford those bills, you can't afford alcohol. And also, it just like makes me feel really bloated in the morning. I feel so disgusting. So if you don't like that feeling, then maybe you should just stop. So the next one is to skip the dryer when you wash your clothes and just hang dry them. And I'm really, really mad that I didn't catch on with this earlier, like freshman through junior year. Like, I'm so mad, like all the money I could have saved. Like, I always heard that you can hang dry, and the excuse for me was always that, oh, I don't have a clothesline. We live in an apartment on campus. We don't have a yard that we can have our clothesline and then like put all the clothes on there. And I didn't purchase like one of those drying racks that some people do that you can get at Target. And so I just never did it. But then the laundry at our, like in our apartment on campus, the like laundry machines, they usually cost like $1.25 per load. But this year when we got back, it cost $1.75 per load. So that's a 50-cent increase per load, which is just something like I cannot handle, because we are already paying $50,000 to go to the school. And now we have to pay more money for the laundry. So I was like really annoyed. And one day I asked my roommate, I was like, hey, can I borrow your drying rack? Because I just like didn't want to keep up with those prices. So I did wash my stuff in the washer. And then I like just brought all my wet clothes back. I had a bunch of hangers. My bed is like really high up on like this platform. And you know, like you have your like bed frame, and then you have like the black little like squiggly, I don't know what they're called, but like the like springy stuff. There's like a bunch of holes in there. So like literally I'll post pictures after this video. I just like hung up the clothes with the hanger and just like clipped them in right under the bed frame. And so they literally just like hung like they would normally in a closet, but just like right under my bed. And I just like hang dried everything. And so if you are really looking to like pinch your pennies and make sure you can get the most out of it, I would highly recommend it. I will note that when you are hang drying, it is like when the clothes dry, they have like a harder, like scratchy feeling, but literally just like shake it off. You're fine. They smell good. I feel like they even smell better because you're not drying them, and you can still wear them, and it saves a lot of money. So I highly recommend. I use my roommate's drying rack now. I literally put them in every inch of my room, wherever I can find a space for the stuff to dry. It usually dries in about a day. Towels do take longer. Never wash all of your towels at the same time and then hang dry them and expect them to dry in a day, because that does not happen at all. Next step is to take advantage of your cafeteria, I can't talk, so sorry. Take advantage of your cafeteria meal plan at your school. So for Florida Tech, if you're an incoming freshman, it's mandatory that you have to take the unlimited swipes meal plan at the cafeteria. So you don't get a meal plan like the one I have now, which is Flex, which you can use like at the grocery store. It's like, nope, straight up, you need to use the cafeteria. But a lot of cafeterias here have policies where it's saying, oh, hey, if you eat here, you can take out one dessert or one fruit. And a lot of people, you stuff yourselves up in the cafeteria, which is good. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Use those unlimited swipes. But then they don't take like the fruit or the dessert when they leave. And I don't think that's a smart decision. So I don't really eat desserts. But the one thing I will always do is I will always take a fruit out of there, because that's one less fruit that I have to pay for. And if I'm already paying for the meal plan to eat as much food as I can in there, then why would I not want to take a banana or apple? And I can just keep that in my backpack for those long days when I just can't make it home and I'm so hungry, because we all have those, and I just pick up my banana and then I eat it. So I really advocate for that. And also taking advantage of your meal plan. You have no excuse to be spending money going to takeout places, restaurants, if you have that meal plan that you can spend thousands of dollars on. Our unlimited meal plan was literally almost $3,000. I think it was $2,700. I'm on a much cheaper meal plan. However, if you're paying all of that money and you're still going out to eat, you are literally wasting the money you paid for, and you're not going to get it back. So I know it may be annoying, but try and like switch up what you eat at the cafeteria if it's just getting way too cyclical. But really take advantage of that meal plan, because that is saving you money from going to spending on other restaurants that you really want to eat at when you already have food that you need to prioritize. The next one is to bike or walk to stores. So if you live in a college town like I do, and it's like a small old people town too, we have like a few stores that are within walking or biking distance. We have our neighborhood Walmart that's like less than half a mile away. I walk there all the time to get prescriptions and whatever groceries I need. And we also have Publix's, we have Winn-Dixie's, Target. That's like a little bit of ways, but if you don't have a car, you can still find other ways to get transportation. You can look at your local trolleys if they have them at your school. They do for our college campus. They also have vans for our school that can take you once a week to the Walmart. So if you don't want to walk, you can use that. So there are other alternatives than to just buying Ubers and Lyfts, because those can get pretty pricey, especially with the new like increase in prices that they have. You should just be able to go and take a nice walk because it's extra exercise. And if you bike, which is fun, because I have a funny story to tell you, at least I think it's funny, but whatever. You can walk, and it's so beautiful to walk and just get out there, get your stuff. It's an excuse for exercise, and biking too. So that way you also get that exercise as you're trying to go do something that you need to do. So one example is for biking, me and my boyfriend, about a year ago, we saved up all of our money from plasma donations, and we're like, we're gonna get bikes. So we got these 2 bikes from Walmart, and we were so happy because now instead of always asking our friends for a ride and feeling really, really bad because we didn't have a car, we're like, oh, we're gonna go travel everywhere. We're gonna go to the beach one day. So I remember it was like a Saturday. We decided, hey, let's go bike 5 miles to the beach. We can totally do it. We don't have to pay for an Uber, which is what we usually did. We can just sit at the beach and have a picnic. And I was like, that's a great idea. It's so fun. So we start biking, and little did we know that like our seats, because we just got the bikes, were not cushioned or padded at all. Like they were the worst quality seats. Good bike, but worst quality seats. And so we are biking 5 miles in Florida heat at like 12 in the afternoon. And we have like our hiking backpacks on us, so we're sweating, and we have to go past the causeway, so like the main highway bridge, to get over to the seaside. And so we're like going up, and it is such a long hill, and I forgot what biking up hills was like since being in college, and oh, it's not pretty. But we like biked all the way up there and all the way down. We finally made it to the beach. We had a great time, and we were so tired. And then we realized, oh my God, we have to bike 5 miles back. We spent like the whole day there from like 12 to 6 o'clock, and we had to bike all the way back. I like really wanted to cry. And then the next day, I could not feel my butt. Like, the seat hurt me so badly. I could not sit down for 2 days, and everyone thought it was so funny. It really wasn't. I was in so much pain. So yeah, once again, if you need to go places, bike or walk somewhere, and if you can, ask a friend to take you wherever you need to go. But with that being said, you also know that your friends, even though they do have the cars, gas is expensive. So if you can't really pay them in a monetary way, think of other ways that you can help pay for like their service. So what I do, one of my best friends, he always, when we didn't have a car because we have one now, he would always take us places. So instead, what I would do is anytime he would come over, I'd offer to cook him dinner. So if we already had any extra dinner, which we usually do because like I said, we cook in bulk, I just hand him a plate, and he's always like super sweet. He's like, no, I don't want to eat. And I was like, you're gonna eat. He's like, no, I already ate, even though we all know he did not eat. He's just trying to be really nice. So we just hand him the plate, and so we'd always have food at our house. So he would always drive us places, but we'd always make sure that in our heart we felt like we were also doing another good service to him and making sure that he had food, especially because he lives off campus, and it's really hard to like make sure you can fit in your meal plan when you live off campus. For the commuters out there, you know what I mean. Okay, just 2 more rules. I don't want to make this video too long. It's already at 14 minutes, so let me speed this up. The next step, and this is really, really like the most important one, is learn to say no. And I had so much trouble doing this freshman year because if anyone knows me, like senior year, I was like, I like bent over backwards for people. I just was such a happy person, and I still am happy, but I just wanted everyone else to be happy, but at my expense. And that wasn't always good because I would get taken advantage of. but I had to learn how to say no. And even if I wanted to hang out with people, if it's not in your budget, then why are you saying yes? If you can't afford it, why are you gonna have 1 hour or 2 hours of gratification and pleasure mixed in with later, like 2 weeks of despair as you realize you have no way to pay your bills? That's just not a state of mind you want to be in. And you can learn how to say no and be respectful. It can be things such as saying like, oh, sorry, maybe it's just not in my budget right now, but, and then you can provide an alternative. So saying no doesn't necessarily mean you're not living the life, because you can still hang out with your friends, but you also need to be upfront about your financial situation. And once I started learning how to say no, I was actually really surprised at how many other of my friends didn't want to do these activities too, but they felt like they needed to and that they were pressured to do it, even though they really didn't have the money for it. So be honest about your current situation. If you can't afford it, it's okay, because chances are someone can't afford it either. And then, oh, excuse me, sorry, I burped. And then offer an alternative and say, oh, hey, I can't really afford this right now going out to eat, but how about we do a movie night at my house maybe when you come back? Or, hey, I can't go get ice cream right now, I have a lot of homework, but how about we do something this weekend? So also to let your friends know that no, you're not just skipping out on them and you would love to hang out with them, but do something that's more conscientious and within your means. Okay, last one, I promise, last one. The last step to save money is to get creative. Look for places around your neighborhood that are free events. So for us, we just had our homecoming week last weekend. So that's where it's like this whole celebration, homecoming festival. We get a free concert. And this past year, Cold War kids came, and I really didn't know much about them. I heard like one of their songs, but it was a free event. So me and my boyfriend and all our friends went, and we had a great time. The band was awesome. The opening bands were awesome. And we just had so much fun. There were food trucks there, but me and Tyler, we ate beforehand, so we wouldn't run the risk of trying to buy something later. But we had so much fun still, like seeing the event. And there's also Facebook. If you do like events near you, you can look up a bunch of free events or events that are little to no charge. So really try and get creative on ways to save money and still have fun, because you'd be surprised. College students love saving money. And it's also really important to find what works for you and what makes you happy, whether it's like free event at the library, at your school, or maybe at a local bar in your town. So those are all the tips I have. Comment below if you liked any of them, or what suggestions you have as a college student or just someone that's trying to save money. And subscribe if you haven't. I make videos every Friday, or I'm trying to make videos every Friday. I will get better at that. And thanks y'all for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.